With the highest GDP on the African continent and a population of over 21 million people, the city of Lagos is home to major African and international corporations. Over the past decade, this megacity has become one of the busiest commercial hubs of Africa and has seen many businessmen flourish. Africa is a home to about 617 million young people of working age, and the number is expected to rise to 1.6 billion by 2060, effectively turning Africa into the world's largest workforce. This young human capital has the potential to drive transformative growth across the continent. Harnessing the ingenuity and creativity of African entrepreneurs to create jobs and generate wealth is one solution to spur innovation and development on the continent.
I'm from Ghana. My business is in the IT sector.
And I'm a fashion designer from Nigeria.
What we do, we replace candles and kerosene by making solar lights affordable for the people who are living in Madagascar.
The founder of Great Fresh Foods, which is the company that aims to promote healthy lifestyle in Africa.
I'm from Zambia, Lusaka, and I'm in the health sector.
I'm developing a solution which can help farmers manage their farms as a business.
These entrepreneurs are part of the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program, launched on the 1st of January 2015 with a decade-long commitment of $100 million to grow 10,000 African entrepreneurs. 1,000 were selected from 20,000 who applied from 52 African countries. Born, educated and made in Nigeria, Tony Elumelu is a new generation of African business leaders driving its economic transformation. Businessman, investor, entrepreneur, philanthropist and avowed Afri-capitalist, he holds the Nigeria National Honors and was recognized as one of Africa's 20 most powerful people by Forbes magazine. Chairman of United Bank of Africa, Transcorp plc, Heirs Holdings, and founder of the Tony Elumelu Foundation, he shared with us the reasons for his success and his vision for the continent.
Basically, I am a Nigerian by birth, but an African in everything I do, from my investments to my philanthropy and to everything and my essence. I believe that no one but us will develop Africa. And growing up, I've always felt that every one of us is equally as endowed as our friends and mates in other parts of the world. And I felt that it was a matter of time for us to prove this to the world. My business is cuts across geographies across Africa and also sectors in Africa. So if you bring power, financial sector, oil and gas investment, and also our investment in real estate and hospitality, then you begin to see that we don't only create wealth for our shareholders, we also have to create wealth for society.
A new Africa has now begun to emerge, a more mature continent, aware of its past, proud of its heritage, and willing to do more in pursuit of a brighter future. The last decade has been one of unprecedented socio-economic improvements across Africa. Indeed, economies are growing rapidly, and with the growth rate up to 5%, Sub-Saharan Africa is expected to be among the fastest growing regions in the coming years. And finally, by 2050, Africa's population will double to 2.4 billion.
Africa is a land of opportunities. People in Africa are so warm, embracing, friendly, and they want to progress. They want the best things in life as their counterparts in Asia and America and Europe. From my investments, there's nowhere else that yields the kind of returns on investment as what I make in Africa. And beyond me, my business partners say the same thing. Two, Africa's population is huge and rising, and the demographic structure of our population is such that you have huge consumers coming out of Africa, and the income per capita has improved. So it means you have huge effective demand on the continent of Africa. That is huge. That is big opportunity. Today, almost all have democratic government. the ease of doing business is gradually improving. Corruption is going down on the continent. And macroeconomic stability in Africa is becoming a constant. So, indeed, Africa is rising. And that is why to the Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs, I say to them, there's no better time than this moment to be and become an entrepreneur in Africa.
In October 2010, Tony Elumelu, described as a 21st century philanthropist, set up the Tony Elumelu Foundation. Through its programs and activities, the foundation seeks to institutionalize luck and create an environment where entrepreneurship can flourish in a sustainable manner.
My vision was to help empower the next generation of African leaders. Government is to set the right environment, but the private sector must take lead and take charge. Having been an entrepreneur myself, let me help to create more. That is the whole driving force behind the Tony Elumelu Foundation.
So I'm looking for people who are hardworking, who believe in, they might still be learning about being emotionally intelligent. I'm a student myself. Who believe in integrity beyond just the dictionary meaning of the word, is knowing that if I give my word, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to just exceed expectations. I will blow out your mind when I'm delivering. Who are resilient and who believe in synergy, that I do not exist on my own, but there are other people within the space that I need to work with to deliver superior value. Then we also want people who believe in Africa.
The foundation had been doing a number of things. We had done what they call the AMIC program, where we were bringing students in business schools across the world to come and have some kind of experience in businesses, in small businesses in Africa. We've done several things. We make donations to the best students in certain disciplines in the universities.
In April 2014, Parminder Vir OBE was invited by Tony Elumelu to help structure the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program. Parminder is an award-winning film and television producer, expert in media investments and emerging markets.
When I arrived, Mr. Elumelu was thinking that we should give $10,000 as a grant. So one of my first things was also to really change the mindset. Entrepreneurs don't need grants, they need investment. They need to know that you as an investor, an angel investor, a family or a friend are taking a risk with your capital in their enterprise. Yeah? So the word seed capital investment or a non-returnable seed capital investment was introduced. Entrepreneurship is teachable and learnable. I totally believe in that. What sustained me was the phenomenal network that I built. So networks are really, really critical. Information, quality information that's available, which is selected and curated. And also, obviously, funding, yeah, and mentoring. Mentoring is absolutely critical. So I guess I set about, leveraging my own experience as an entrepreneur and as a filmmaker to see how I could transfer those skills to designing the framework for the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program. And what emerged after 10 months of doing that was the 7 pillars of TEEP.
The 7 pillars of TEEP provide a unique system of effective and intensive support for the startup. Having steered the development of a model for Pan-African, multilingual and sustainable program, Mr. Elumelu launched the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program. He also declared 2015 as the year of African entrepreneurship.
My life has come, as I said, in a full circle, because today, the lucky entrepreneur I was at some point will today embark on the journey of giving back to the continent that has given so much to me, and doing it, if I may say so, at an unprecedented level. Through the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program, I am committing $100 million to support the next generation of African entrepreneurs. The program represents a decade-long commitment to support 10,000 African entrepreneurs and startups. The program is open to entrepreneurs from all 54 African countries. Over the next 10 years, our goal is to generate 1 million jobs through these 10,000 businesses and to help contribute at least $10 billion to revenues across Africa through these businesses. We're not targeting any sector. We just want people who believe in themselves, who have ideas that can develop the continent. And so that was what drove us.
To ensure transparency and fairness, the foundation assembled an independent Pan-African selection committee, including established entrepreneurs. The foundation developed a clearly defined selection criteria against which the applications would be evaluated, including feasibility of the business idea, market opportunity, financial understanding, scalability, leadership and entrepreneurial skills. It engaged Accenture development partners to ensure transparent application selection process, vital for the integrity and credibility of the program.
What we wanted to do was to democratize luck and give people opportunity. You have ideas that can work, ideas that can develop Africa, come forward and share the ideas.
It was a blind selection with no particular emphasis. We selected from 51 countries. So we have entrepreneurs now from 51 countries.
The announcement and telling people who won, when they were giving testimonies, some had a scream when they were told they were successful. It was a very interesting moment. The satisfaction, the excitement, the joy.
There are 25 industries that are represented, sectors that are represented in our program. The biggest of them is the agriculture. So a lot of young entrepreneurs, and our demographic on our program is 21 to 37. So it's a young demographic, yeah? They see agriculture as a real business opportunity. And they see that they can intervene in the supply chain, from farm to fork.
In April 2015, the selected 1,000 entrepreneurs embarked on the 7 pillars of TIP, starting with a 12-week training program supported by an online mentor. The mentors are selected for their passion for business and supporting new entrepreneurs.
I'm one of the mentors. For the past 12 weeks, I've been mentoring 5 mentees, 2 from Sierra Leone, 1 from Ghana, 1 from Cameroon, and 1 from Rwanda. But the future in the next 10, 15, 25 years, people will be developing businesses and creating jobs, which is badly needed in Africa. And that's what the foundation is all about.
The 12-week training program was supplemented by the TOE Way, an entrepreneur's handbook for success. It proved to be a great resource and essential reading for entrepreneurs before they joined TIP Bootcamp, which is the physical manifestation of the 7 pillars of TIP. The Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs traveled across Africa from Casablanca, Cape Town, Dakar, Nairobi to Nigeria, creating an unprecedented gathering of African entrepreneurs from 51 African countries. For many of the entrepreneurs, the TIP Bootcamp was the first opportunity to meet each other, network, and build cross-border business partnerships.
I was a bit skeptical because I'm like, 1,000 people, the logistics is going to be horrible. But so far it's been good, and I've met amazing Africans. I've met some amazing people from Morocco, Mauritius, Burundi. I've had friends from Guinea-Bissau, and each and every one of them, their stories are different yet inspiring.
One essence was to bring people together so they could see themselves live. They had been forming relationships on the online platform. They had been meeting offline at some meetups that had been taking place around Africa. But now bringing them together created such a synergy and an energy that we think would increase inter-African trade, would increase sharing of ideas.
The beauty of boot camp was that you didn't quite know who was who. So a lot of us wore TIP t-shirts. So whether you're a journalist, whether you're working or you're an entrepreneur, and so it really enables interaction.
The program included interactive sessions with successful entrepreneurs, inspirational speakers, business and political leaders.
We are here supporting and enabling and empowering entrepreneurs. Failure for you is not an option.
For Africa does not need a renaissance or merely to rise in order to achieve her potential. She requires nothing short of a revolution. And you, the entrepreneurs, are the soldiers who will lead it.
Entrepreneurship is a long-term journey. Dare to dream, implement your dream, and stay focused.
It is the right time to be from this continent. You're standing at a time when there's no disparity between African knowledge and the knowledge of the world. You're standing at a time where, coming together as African entrepreneurs, you are in the place where one of the largest growths is emerging in the world. But the critical thing I want to say to you is that you are the first generation that's going to understand this, that modernization does not have to be westernization, that you have the capacity inside you as Africans to compete with the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, we also have the founder of the Tony Elumelu Foundation and chairman of Harris Holdings, Mr. Tony Elumelu, CON.
The highlight of the TEEP bootcamp was a surprise appearance from the Vice President of Nigeria, the Prime Minister of Benin Republic, and the Governor of Kaduna State, who all spoke on the importance of supporting entrepreneurship across Africa.
As you pursue your ideas, when someone says, "This is impossible," reply with 2 sentences. 1, nothing is impossible. 2, impossible only takes longer.
With your values, creative values, and this conviction that people is everything, more important than capital, people and their knowledge, people and their ambition. I have not a dream. I have not an expectation. I have a certainty that you are the winner.
Tony Elumelu's initiative goes beyond creating entrepreneurs. He has shown by this project that social entrepreneurs, that is, creating opportunities for others using commercial methods and strategies, is fundamental to development. I want to charge you all, in your own little ways, to become like little Elumelus, doing your own bit to create opportunities for others. Africa indeed today stands ready to seize the future. I say so because of you, young entrepreneurs who are here. Your creativity, innovation, talent, and most importantly, strength of character is our future. Let me say how extremely proud I am of you all. I'm sure that your countries and our continent will be safe in your hands. Congratulations, and thank you very much.
After being inspired by enthusiastic officials, the entrepreneurs then listened to women private sector leaders.
But my mom was a widow and I wanted to help her, and that led me into entertainment. I thought to myself, this could be powerful. And within our local community, I saw how much people actually respected me. And I was just 16 years old. And so the first thing that hits me is this: whatever you do in life, as long as you do it well, you do it diligently, and you're very focused, people would actually come to respect you for it.
The white gaps are those spaces in our society that exist, that need to be filled, and it's about making sure that your passion and your purpose meets with the white gap that you've identified.
I think as an entrepreneur, cash flow is king. And the way I say it is revenue first before cost. Make sure you know how you're going to make the money before you incur the cost.
You need to build your personal brand. That's the essence of you. Your character, integrity, your core values. Guard your reputation.
You could see from questions I was getting after the session, and a lot of emails I've gotten after that, it points to that the problem of being able to understand how best to source for financing is one major problem for many of the entrepreneurs. Just focus on creating value, because anytime you focus on creating value, you're attracting capital.
And for 2 hours, Tony Elumelu took the stage to engage with the entrepreneurs, answer their burning questions, and make introductions. Self-belief and the power of vision, he told them, are what carried him forward.
I'd like to start by congratulating all of you. You have done well.
So now what do I want? I want a partnership with UBA. I want UBA to be the transaction operator for my platform. That's what I want. That's why I'm here.
See, we're unleashing a lot of entrepreneurs and aggressive entrepreneurs on the continent. This is what we want. By the way, entrepreneurs, also aspiring entrepreneurs, know when an opportunity presents itself and don't fail to seize the opportunity. The CEO UBA Africa is right here. Come and meet him now and take his card immediately. Okay, so we'll just make it quick, short questions.
My name is Ahmed Abbas from Egypt.
From
I had
Egypt?
a dream, yes. I had a dream to connect with our African brothers and sisters, and you have made this dream come true.
Right from the very beginning when I applied for TIP, people kept asking, this is a private person, so what's the catch about this? There has to be a catch. Somebody cannot just come and start investing this kind of money in an entrepreneur without there being some kind of catch to it.
There's nothing, no hidden hand in what we're doing. Simple, I believe by my economic philosophy of African capitalism, that the private sector has a role to play in developing our continent. But in our environment, we have stifling conditions. Access to finance, seed capital, ease of doing business, mentoring. And to me, it's about legacy. It's about you all. Imagine, just put yourself in my position and working in my old age at 80, for instance, and I visit Zambia, and someone says, I own this financial institution, or I own this manufacturing, or I own this. Do you know how I started? I said, no. I got $10,000 from a certain man from Nigeria called Elumelu. That's how I started. That's my ambition.
And just to sit back and watch a room full of 1,000 entrepreneurs from 51 African countries was awesome, was mind-blowing.
This is the mother of African entrepreneurship.
And then to watch the entrepreneurs across, cultures, across boundaries, across different political, different histories, connect with each other. There are moments in your life that you will never ever forget, and that was the moment.
At the end of the bootcamp, the entrepreneurs received their well-deserved certificates and celebrated African entrepreneurship with Mr. Elumelu. This was also the occasion to showcase their products, like this entrepreneur who gave Mr. Elumelu a test drive on his Ghana-made Pembu bike.
Most entrepreneurs are creative people. They have creative mindset. They're innovative. Those who dare to dream and who dare to innovate in Africa should have the opportunity to prove their innovation. And that is why we have $10,000 for these 10,000 Africans to help prove their concept and prepare them for bigger scale financial support. We don't give because we see it as a moral burden to just give charity. But we want to give people because we want to uplift them. We want them to be self-reliant. We want them to be fishermen. We want them to do what we are doing. We want them to prosper in life, become successful. And I'm blessed that I have a very passionate and equally committed board of trustees members. My wife is a member of the board of trustees.
I'm hoping to see, if possible, as close as possible to 100% success in the businesses, so that at the end of the day we have hundreds, millions of successful entrepreneurs.
The Tony Elumelu Foundation recognizes that one of the key challenges facing Africa's entrepreneurs is the state of the enabling environments in which they operate. Therefore, in addition to providing direct support to select African entrepreneurs, the Foundation's research and advocacy arm is developing policy using TIP data. Based on this research, the Foundation produced its first original report, Unleashing Africa's Entrepreneurs, Improving the Enabling Environments for Startups.
This report speaks directly to over 20,000 entrepreneurs across Africa. That's huge. I don't think there's any other report out there that can boast of our data set. And so I think this report is unique. Our main focus really is to position the foundation as the authority on entrepreneurship on the continent. And we arrive at that position by doing focused research, engaging with our entrepreneurs and other stakeholders in the ecosystem, and also engaging with policymakers who affect the enabling environment for entrepreneurs. So when we arrive at this research, we then connect with other stakeholders to engage them on the findings in order to create the right environment for entrepreneurs to flourish.
Not content with launching the biggest entrepreneurship program on the continent, Tony Elumelu is leveraging his convening power to engage African leaders, policymakers, stakeholders, incubators, investors, and the Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs on the value of supporting African entrepreneurship.
Introducing these entrepreneurs, Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs, to the presidents and seeing the presidents engage policymakers and directing them to improve their policies. It is so wonderful, so satisfying. And so I use my contacts, my convening power, my circle of influence to preach competitiveness. What is good for one entrepreneur is good for all entrepreneurs. It's helping them to succeed. And so for me, the greater impact is not just on the 10,000 entrepreneurs, but the whole ecosystem of entrepreneurship in Africa that we're helping to touch, to galvanize, to prepare, to push. I mean, it's wonderful. And these presidents are listening, which is good.
Those, small meetings, the 170 in Kenya, the, 50 plus in Uganda, in Zambia, in Mali, in Senegal, in Cote d'Ivoire. It was an opportunity to now engage with them in small numbers, which has resulted in some amazing things, like the Minister for Entrepreneurship in Cote d'Ivoire said, I really like the program and the structure and the framework. I want to know if I can replicate this program in Cote d'Ivoire.
They have so much fire in them. They want to do something. They're talking about their ideas. They're telling you about the challenges they're facing. And you know that, it's going to definitely change the face of Africa.
Through its engagement with global entrepreneurship forums, the program is promoting the role of African entrepreneurs within the global supply chain and putting African innovators front and center on the global stage.
There's need for a new narrative of Africa. The world must see that beyond famine, fighting, squalor, AIDS, that there's a new side of Africa, that we do have a lot of entrepreneurs in Africa, and that we do have even people who have great ideas that can change the world, but they lack opportunities. And let's create opportunities for these people. That's why we need to tell the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program message to the world. And so that those also who want to invest or who want to give in Africa, they need to begin to change how they give. They need to give in a manner that helps to create self-independence and not perpetual syndrome. And so when President Obama came to Africa 2 years ago and launched the Power Africa initiative, when he came and preached and said trade and investment and not aid, I thought that was fantastic. That was like me talking. We need to have a pipeline of African leaders, private sector leaders, entrepreneurs, who must keep the wheel turning.
We are confident that this program will benefit not only us, but many who are going to benefit from the education and the strategic ideas that we have gained. And we look forward to using that to develop Africa in a big, big way.
Everybody else kind of do Southern Africa or West Africa or East Africa, and this one just brought us together, uniting Africa as a continent, and that's what we need.
Nous avons toutes les armes potentielles pour que nous puissions faire demain de l'Afrique le rêve africain.
Now we can customize our product for, the Pan-African market. So we're going home, we're going big.
Africa in 50 years, I don't see an Africa that's a land of plenty. A land where there's no more poverty. Income per capita is good, poverty and inequality is low, unemployment is single digit, almost non-existent. An Africa where there's no extremism, an Africa where we're not fighting, an Africa where we have self-confidence, and above all, an Africa where there's self-sufficiency. An Africa that can feed itself and feed the world. That is my dream. And I believe that the seed we plant today through the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program will help to develop Africa in the future.